If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Back in the 90s, there's radio, television, print, and billboards. That's about it. And word of mouth, which is always my favorite. We don't advertise, just all word of mouth. Well, I mean, isn't that what Facebook is at this point? I mean, you drink Starbucks, you go on to tell everybody how much you love it, and the day that they give out the free Chick-fil-A, everybody runs over dressed like a cow, and they all get free Chick-fil-A, right? We've all done that. No, I've done that. I like Chick-fil-A too. So in the last 10 years since the internet's come along, I had some epiphanies. And when Marco was working for the Orioles, I did kind of a world-famous walkout on the baseball owner. I mean, the baseball team has really destroyed the infrastructure of my business. The beginning of the business in the 90s was we would sell April, October, and give the winter away because the summer was affected. The Orioles were relevant and there every day, and the Ravens didn't exist. Once the Ravens came, everything sort of, the clock turned around. And this is my low season we're going into now, May, June, and July, where everything about my company will be depressed because the baseball team stinks for the 14th year in a row. So, but I did a walkout on the baseball team in 2006, and it got kind of worldwide coverage. Really pissed the owner off, which I kind of like. He took my press pass after 21 years. So whatever they teach in the class about ethics and integrity.
You said you had delusions of grandeur.
And I was a very unimportant person with delusions of grandeur. Exactly. So in 06, I did this walkout, and I did it as like the kid wearing the orange jersey who loves baseball, right? I mean, those of you who seem to be from New York, if somebody came in and screwed up the Yankees for the next 15 years, my wife's from Manchester, New Hampshire. She's a Red Sox fan. If the Red Sox were in last place for 15 years and nobody went to the ballpark, they'd like burn down Boston, right? But here, there's a whole different political structure, as Marco found out the hard way with the Orioles. But what happened for me in my life and my career was after being syndicated and having a radio station and doing all that stuff, if you talk about marketing, what I did with the Orioles was a marketing endeavor, right? It was a big flying middle finger to the owner saying, fix the team. You're screwing the city up. You're screwing my business up. You're screwing other businesses up. But what happened was something really interesting that I didn't see happening. I hated the internet in 2003, 4, and 5. Being Nasty Nestor on the radio and having open message boards, you can only imagine the stuff my wife, my family would read about me on the internet. It's like a bathroom wall, you know what I mean? And I didn't really dig it. So I didn't take the internet all that seriously, and I owned a radio station, right? So I'm vested in radio, believed in radio, and being a guy who at that time was 35 years old, I mean, radio had been here all my life, it's going to be here forever, right? Like newspapers. All the old people I talked to 5, 6 years ago, newspaper, there'll always be a newspaper. Until I walk into a room of educated people here and no one's reading it anymore because it's not working. And guess what else isn't working? The marketing. The ad that's in the paper that no one sees anymore doesn't get redeemed, the coupons, all of that stuff that you guys sort of internally do off your phone. Every time you hit a website, you're getting measured. All of you know Facebook privacy. Everywhere you visit, every note you ever send. If you get sued like I did last year, you really find out that everything you've ever written is, it gets subpoenaed, trust me, for better or for worse. So after this walkout, the strangest thing happened for me from a marketing endeavor. I put on ESPN, there I am, all over the newspapers, all over the local media. Well, what happened was 58,000 people crashed my webpage the next day. 41,000 people sent me emails personally in that week after. Most of them saying, go get them, you're right, you're right. Some of them, you're a jerk, whatever. Nothing I was uncomfortable doing being a public figure for 15 years. But back to the BAL thing where I could not prove my brand, right? If you want to sell somebody something, you got to tell them how many eyeballs you see. How many eyeballs pass that billboard every day? What's your Nielsen rating? What's your Arbitron rating? What's your Google Analytics, which didn't exist in 2006? But for the first time, I saw the growth of my company in real numbers. My web page crashed, and it was just a web page, man. It was like, here's Nestor, here's his picture, here's his bio, send him an email. There was no content there of any kind that would hold an audience. But at that time, my wife is an engineer with Verizon, and she was telling me the whole time, like, this phone is going to, you guys aren't young enough or old enough to remember, this thing didn't always exist like this. 10 years ago when you were in wherever, 6th grade, this didn't exist. The thought of this probably didn't exist to you, and it certainly didn't exist to old people like myself. So the whole notion that 58,000 people would come to my brand and 41,000 people would send me an email, led me on this journey with the internet that I've been sort of intoxicated with over the last 6 years. So I had this huge brand that I could not prove to anyone because I had one measurement in the whole world. It was called Arbitron, and Arbitron for 20 years, to this day, still says no one's ever heard of me and no one's ever listened to my radio station. It's funny. Somehow my Google Analytics had 2 million visits last year, and somehow we have 50,000 people following us on Facebook and 10,000 people following us on Twitter. But Arbitron still says to the radio industry, don't give that clown money. He has no listeners. So I still fight that every day on the radio side. But on the web brand, when I first went out in 2006 after this walkout and seeing these people, I figured one day I'll be able to come in not only to a classroom, but go back to that pizza shop, to that car dealership, and say, the zero is fiction. Here's the reality. 10,000 people are hanging on every word that I throw out on Twitter. 50,000 people are involved in our Facebook community. 2 million people visited our website last year. 7,000 people have given me their phone number for texts. So if Ray Lewis does go down in a plane crash today, we'll send it directly out to them. We have 15,000 people every day now that get my e-newspaper that we send out at 7:30 every morning for free. The Baltimore Sun's now charging $3 a week to be a subscriber. So there's a lot of things we've done to enhance our brand and move our brand to the web. But that's really what my specialty is in going to the web and trying to figure out the next thing, the things your little brothers and sisters, and quite frankly, the things your kids are going to be utilizing to help brands sell things. Because I'm still in the same space, right? I'm doing the same crap in 2012 that I was doing in 1992. I'm talking about sports and trying to be interesting and relevant and topical. And I'm trying to get you, if you're an Oriole, Raven, Terps, Caps, Wizards, Loyola, if you're following Patsos over at Reeds and you're going to the NCAA tournament and going up to Pittsburgh and all that stuff, we're doing that and opining news information analysis better than anyone and with a longer brand. The difference now is, for all of you, if you want my brand, the only way to get my brand 6 years ago was to be in the car, to be in Baltimore, to be on the AM side of the dial, to not be on your cell phone, to not be texting while you're driving, to be listening for the ad for the pizza shop or the bar or the car or whatever. And it's blind. I can't show the Coke red and white. I can't show the Southwest Airlines brand. I can't show the Starbucks green. It's a blind medium, radio. Now I have a web brand that comes to your phone wherever you are, day or night, that you opt into. And if I piss you off, you just unfriend me, unfollow me, unsubscribe me, right? So the fact that you get this largesse of brand awareness for people and they stay opted in, whatever you guys are opted in, whatever you've liked on Facebook, those are brand marketers working on you and they know you like them. It's the same reason I like Led Zeppelin up on my Facebook page. I get every day there's some Led Zeppelin belt buckle showing up on my Facebook they want me to buy for $20. So the brand marketing now and the awareness of how much we know about our users is just, it's incredible. Like I can't find out enough. I mean, on Facebook, I can find out the difference between some kid from New York who might like the Caps, but's really a Yankee and a Mets fan or a Yankee and a Ranger fan, or some kid from Baltimore who's a Ravens fan.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.